Yo, I just got done watching Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and these are my initial thoughts. For starters, I love the action sequences in this movie with Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt, such as when he was underwater with no oxygen tank, just bare boning his ship, trying to go reach the surface, trying not to get his lungs collapse, bro, from all the water going into his lungs and from drowning too. And that was just like some Top Gun shit, bro, top level Dawn status shit. I also love the airplane sequences in this movie, bro, when Tom Cruise was hanging on to his dear life on Gabriel's plane. This guy has some really crazy upper body strength, bro. Like, I can't imagine the training that he did for this movie, bro. Yo, this guy, when he was on Gabriel's plane, bro, this guy was hanging on to near the ledge of the plane with both of his legs, bro. Both of his legs were hanging onto the plane. I'm like, damn, bro, this guy has some crazy quads. I also love the messages in this movie about fate. About, you know, like in the last movie, they thought Gabriel was the chosen one for this whole entity AI program. And he was like sort of this like messiah, he's like the chosen one. But then in this movie, it turns out that it flips the script on that whole kind of take and says that he was basically trying to use the AI for his own demands, for his own power ship. Get me? Ethan Hunt was basically the chosen one all along, and that he was the one who was supposed to be this sort of savior in saving the human race from this AI program. I felt like this movie was sort of like a nostalgia trip, where it's like we're going through memory lanes of all the Mission Impossible movies and trying to like praise all of Ethan Hunt's work throughout this movie. Sort of like a retirement speech. It's sort of like his last dance in a way, where Ethan Hunt's trying to put his name up in the rafters and trying to say, I did all of what I could have done for this Mission Impossible program, and that now this is really the final reckoning, you get me? It's like a sort of final chapter in the whole Mission Impossible saga, and that it's really just a love letter to all the Mission Impossible fans, and I felt like that was really the heart and soul of this movie. I felt like Gabriel, like these past two films, was a kind of weak villain. I didn't really feel compelled towards his character arc, and that he sort of felt fake. I seen at the end, like when Ethan Hunt was on Gabriel's plane, this guy was hitting emotes, bruh. How was Gabriel hitting emotes? Bro, this guy was like doing some peace sign. This guy was like sticking his tongue for some reason. Bro, that is horrible writing, bro. Horrible script writing. I don't know who thought of that. Gabriel, I get Gabriel doesn't probably have some like sort of like human well-being, like a sort of human humor in a way, but like at least have him be like menacing in a way, bro. Like sometimes scary. Like that whole sequence, bro, where he was just sticking his tongue trying to make fun of Ethan Hunt in that airplane sequence, that was cringe, bro. I want to say, bro, that Tom Cruise is literally 3 for 3 with cinema releases, bro. I swear to God, bro. 2022 Top Gun, then 2023 Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, the 2025 Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, bro. This guy is literally the king of cinemas. He's basically the backbone of the whole film industry. So y'all, the entity plays a huge role in this film. Basically, it's an AI program that literally can have hold over human beings. Any missile, nuclear weapons that any nation holds, it's basically like a virus, literally can control anyone. And that the whole movie is that this whole AI program is taking control of every nation's nuclear powered missiles, and that the US was the last one, and the US had a choice of either sending the missiles out or basically try to shoot their own missiles at themselves or something. I felt like it was sort of kind of confusing. It was smart at the end where Angela Bassett's character mentioned that they could basically just wipe out all the powers in the US, prevent the AI from controlling the US nuclear power, and also like hitting other nations with their nuclear power too. So it's really just like a win-win situation. They don't really have the choice or like the whole like power stance of like choosing to wipe out a whole entire other country's nation with their nuclear power just because they're afraid that the AI probably controls that other nation's nuclear power. At the same time, you know what I'm saying, living in fear, they could just, you know, just wipe out all the powers, don't have to deal with that problem anyway. I'm not gonna lie, controversial take, but I really don't like the ending of this whole movie, bro. Spoiler alert ahead, but like basically Haley Atwell's character Grace gives Tom Cruise, basically they caught the AI program in this sort of tube to prevent it from either killing it or letting it destroy itself. So basically Haley Atwell's character at the end of the movie puts this little tube to catch it in like this sort of like light bulb, like catching lightning in a bottle. And that now Tom Cruise at the end of the film is granted this whole AI program in this little tube, and I felt like it defeats the whole purpose of what Ethan Hunt's character was preaching throughout the entire film, and that now he just has the whole AI program in this little tube, and it's basically saying that he now has control over it, which he didn't want to have control over in the first place. He just wanted to destroy it and wipe it out of existence. But like now it's just he's breaking his moral rules. So y'all, my final review for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the best Mission Impossible movies, not by like a long shot. I feel like Fallout really is the best one. It's the pinnacle of all Mission Impossible movies with Henry Cavill doing his little, you know, saying Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is probably top 4, top 3 Mission Impossible movies. I like how it all concluded, all wrapped up, all probably the whole saga of Mission Impossible into one movie. Really got the fans into like, you know, little Easter eggs, bringing people from past movies back into this movie. And I really respect that. Ethan Hawke, Tom Cruise is probably one of the top 5, top 10 fictional movie film characters of all time. This guy's better than Jason Bourne. He's better than John Wick. Better than literally any character you can name off film franchises. Better than Indiana Jones. I love that. I love Tom Cruise, bro. Hopefully we get another Top Gun soon. I've seen little elements of Top Gun in this movie. Hopefully we get a Top Gun soon. If you really think about it, Tom Cruise is saving cinema every goddamn year, except for 2024. He took a hiatus. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just take a break sometimes. But Tom Cruise literally is saving cinema in his palm. The only person I can think that's saving cinema at the same time is Timothée Chalamet. But other than that, bro, Tom Cruise will forever be a legend, will forever be cemented into the Hall of Fame of film actors. He doesn't even need an Oscar, bro. He's already a legend in himself. With all the stunts he's been doing, all his movies, he's a legend, bro. And I respect that. But yeah, it's been your boy Sayburr, and I'm out. Peace.